Hola amigos, welcome to Monte Alban. You can book a guided tour to Monte Alban from numerous tour companies in Oaxaca City, or you can use just the transport service from Lescas Tours Company for just 50 pesos each way. I felt lazy today and took the easiest but most expensive option. Hola, Jesús. Sí. Buenos días. Abra a las 8
de la mañana.
Okay, I am here in Monte Alban. I just got out of the taxi. I just saw the sign that says they open at 8 a.m. But when I looked online, on the official website, they said they open at 10, which, I did think that that was kind of strange, but it was the official website, so I trusted it. I am a little pissed off because I really wanted to get here before large crowds of people got here, and it would have been better to get here at 8 because of the sun. And I also left my sunglasses in the taxi, so I will be blind all day. Winning. Since they messed me up with the hours of opening, I figured I'm gonna break the rules and use my selfie stick. Anyway, the Zapotecs was a major empire in this region of Mexico. This was their capital, Monte Alban, although it wasn't called that. We don't know what it was called. This city was here, or was occupied for about 2,000 years. It was founded around 500 BC and it was abandoned approximately 700 AD. So the city has been here for around 2,000 years, but for about 1,000 of those years, it was a very powerful empire that controlled this entire region of the valleys below. They built this city up here in the hills with artificially constructed terraces in the hills here, which is super impressive. And at its height, it had approximately 30,000 people living here, which is high for that time. When the Zapotecs, when their power started to decline, the Mixtecs took over and they used this site. And in fact, the tomb number 7, which I showed you in the museum yesterday in Oaxaca City, that tomb was a Mixtec tomb. So the Mixtecs used the Zapotec city after their power diminished. Yeah, so this was, this was a very important place. The Zapotecs were on par with the Aztecs and the Mayans. They had a system of writing that used phonetic symbols. So not only just, pictures to represent ideas, but they actually had symbols that represented sounds like we do today in our alphabet. So they were very advanced. And they also were contemporaries at one point of the people who lived in Teotihuacan, which if you've seen my video on Teotihuacan, you know about that. There are signs of influence from Teotihuacan here, and in fact in Teotihuacan they have realized that there was a section of the city that was for Zapotecs. Here we find influence from Teotihuacan and also other civilizations as well, like the Olmecs, which is really, the Olmecs are like the mother civilization of all the others, the Zapotecs, the Maya, the Aztec, the Purépecha, etc. Eventually, the Aztecs, when the Aztecs came to power, they subjugated the Zapotecs. The Zapotecs had to pay tribute to them. This was during their decline. But before that, before the Aztecs came around, these were the guys, the Zapotecs. They were the rulers of this entire region. They were very powerful, they were very advanced, and this was their city. So I'm super excited to see this. Although, because I left my sunglasses in the taxi, I can't hardly see. And I can't imagine the wrinkles that I'm getting by squinting so much. God. There is so much to see here, but I'll focus on the main sites. We're starting with the North Platform Complex. Approaching the platform, we see it's topped with 12 column bases. These 12 columns would have supported a roofed hall. Its grand staircase is introduced by one of the many stelas at the site, Stela number 9. Believed to mark the importance of the events taking place on the North Platform, the stela shows glyphs on all 4 sides, such as this male figure with an elaborate headdress indicating his royal position. His name was probably 8 Flower, indicated by a glyph below. So behind me is the main plaza of the city. Look how gigantic it is. And, you know, this would have been designed to hold every inhabitant of this city for special events and religious ceremonies, etc. But it's massive. It's so cool to actually be here, you know, because for weeks I've been reading and looking at the pictures of it online, and now I'm here. So it's pretty cool. If only I had sunglasses. The largest construction on the site, the North Platform houses buildings hidden from the main plaza below, likely serving as a residential area for Monte Alban's elite. The Patio Hundido, or sunken patio, contains an altar in the center where private ceremonies would have taken place. The North Platform's various structures have revealed evidence of the relationship with Teotihuacan, carved genealogies of elite families, and the tomb of a rich noblewoman. On top of Building E, Stela VGE2 shows an elderly woman and a young man depicted as a jaguar engaged in a ritual, possibly the transfer of power between generations. The complex known as Sistema 4 contains a temple that is thought to be one out of 15 temples associated with different barrios, or residential units housing people of a similar economic or familial status. Notice the geometric designs at the top. 2 tunnels underneath the patio of the complex were likely used by priests to enter and exit during rituals. Fronting the complex, a large stela acts as a sundial, marking midday as well as the spring and fall solstices. In the center of the massive main plaza, buildings G, H, and I were undoubtedly the center stage for religious ceremonies for the public. Workers pull weeds and apply new mortar, preserving the structure's integrity. Behind me is Building J, which is the only building that is not aligned with the rest of the buildings in the square. So I'm inside the main square, and it's like, it's a rectangle, and everything is, straight lines. But then this building is just kind of crooked in the middle of the plaza. This has intrigued archaeologists for a long time, trying to figure out why it was placed in this specific direction. But so they know now that this building was aligned with a certain type of astronomical formation, and only like high priests and the astronomers of the Zapotecs were allowed to use this building. So that's why it's placed this way. But the coolest thing about this building J is on the back of it, well, I don't know if it's the back, but on the one wall of it are what's called the Conquest Slabs. And these are slabs of stones with engravings in them showing the Zapotec's conquests of all the other little tribes and towns in the valleys below and all around the area of what is now Oaxaca. And they can tell that they depict scenes of conquest and conquering these other peoples, because the heads seem to be decapitated and upside down. And that told archaeologists what they were. So this is pretty cool. I am trying to get good shots of stuff like these stones, but because the sun is so strong, I can't even see the screen of my camera to see what I'm shooting. So I am trying my best, and I'm hoping when I get back to the room and pop them or be able to look at my camera, that I have these shots, because if not, I will be really disappointed. Okay, I'm in a part where the sun isn't so strong, so I can actually see this shot. But if you look here and you look at the bottom, you can see the upside down head of possibly a leader of another group of people that has been conquered. Cool stuff. Here's another one that I can see in my screen. There's some people here selling, not too many, nothing like Teotihuacan where there's like millions, but people selling souvenirs and stuff. And if they sold a pair of sunglasses, I would give them $1,000 right now for a pair of sunglasses. I'm approaching the stones that they call Danzantes, which means the dancers. When they were first discovered in the 19th century, they believed that they were images of dancers, but that was a mistake. We know now that they seem to depict scenes of sacrifice, or victims of sacrifice, sacrificial victims, because their genitals, in some of them, their genitals have been mutilated. And there was one of these, there might have been more, but I saw one in the museum yesterday in Oaxaca. They also show, their faces show similarities to depictions that the Olmecs had. And the Olmecs were, the oldest Mesoamerican civilization, probably the mother civilization of everyone else. The Aztecs, the Maya, the Zapotecs, the Purepecha, the people of Teotihuacan, we don't know what they called themselves, but the features of their face with their broad noses and big lips was a depiction of people that the Olmecs had. And you can see that in the Olmec heads, the gigantic Olmec heads. So this is cool. I'm a dork. I don't know what this stone depicts, but I can tell just from the reading that I've done that the designs, the circles, are glyphs. That was a type of writing, probably a date or the name of the chief or the god. It's cool to I definitely suggest you know, do a little bit of reading. Just go on Wikipedia, read some stuff about the glyphs and the Zapotecs. So, you know, when you come here, you really know what you're looking at. You can also hire a guide right at the entrance to take you around. So a lot of people are doing that too. I did not do that just because I read a lot about the place already, and I kind of just wanted to be on my own and not like with a group of people. I'm really enjoying myself here. It's not super crowded as I thought it would be when I first got here, and I saw like tons and tons of tour buses with loads of people getting off and lots of school groups. I was like, this, I actually considered getting another cab and going back home and just trying tomorrow earlier. But no, it's not too bad. The place is so massive that, you know, it's really not crowded. So turns out this is a good day. Except for the loss of my sunglasses. Have I mentioned that I lost my sunglasses? That's a pretty impressive staircase. And I'm gonna climb it. Worth it because the view from here is spectacular. Check out the roots of this gnarly tree. On the east side of the main plaza, you'll pass El Palacio, or the Palace. Believed to be the residence of an elite family, it contains 13 rooms. Its walls are over 3 feet thick, and there is a tunnel underneath leading to the main plaza. At the base of the northern platform, Stela 15 is one of the few narrative texts found in its original context. It includes a scene, 2 short texts, and glyphs representing dates. The scene may commemorate the ascendancy and ancestry of a lord and celebrates a military victory by way of a ball game. Making my way to the ball court. The Zapotecs also, like the Mayans and the Aztecs, had, and the Purepecha, had this game that is all very similar amongst all the different civilizations. And I think this is it. The Mesoamerican ball game, where players used their hips to move a heavy rubber ball, was a serious affair and used to solve political and social conflicts. Losing teams would often be sacrificed, having their heads decapitated. This specific ball court is unusual in that it lies below the ground, so observers would have to view the game from above. The Plataforma Enjoyada, or jeweled platform, is named for its rare ornamental panels called tableros. During its exploration, a collection of Teotihuacan-type ceramics were found, as well as a workshop for mica. I think the only thing left to see is the tomb complex, which from what I've read, sometimes they're open and sometimes they're not. So hopefully it's open. And then it's almost 2 o'clock. I'm starving, so I probably will eat at the restaurant that I think is here on site. Oh, and there's a museum here. Jeez. Okay, and then I'll eat because all I've eaten today is a banana, which is the banana my mother gave me before I left for my trip. And it's been in my bag for 3 days. Thanks, Ma. Among the many tombs at Monte Alban, the ones decorated with murals are unfortunately closed to visitors. But you can check out some tombs where people were once buried with offerings of shells, jade, bones, gold, and silver, depending on the social status of the individual. Is that some Blair Witch shit? Ooh. Okay, heading toward the exit. I think that's where the little museum is, and there's supposedly more of those Danzante stones in this museum. So I want to check those out really quick, and then I gotta eat something. Yeah, I feel you, brother. I am having a little ham and cheese sandwich. It's actually a club. I just spoke to the waiter. He told me, I looked on Google Maps to see how to get back by public transport, and it said I would have to walk first 45 minutes to get the bus, but the total time would be, like an hour and a half to get back. So I just asked the waiter, and he said, no, you just walk down a little bit, you walk a little bit, and then you stand there and you wait, and a bus or a camioneta, a little van, will come by and drop you off in the center of the city. So I think I'm gonna try that, because I really don't want to pay another 200 something pesos for a taxi. Wish me luck. Okay, I didn't even bother looking at the prices on the menu. But that was ridiculous. I should have just waited till I got back to Centro to eat. Oh, I think this is the van. Okay, I made it. Yeah. Gonna go back to my room, rest, and that's gonna do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found it useful for planning your trip to Monte Alban, or if you just like me and think I'm funny, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. And if you're feeling generous, you could even hit the thanks button and give me a little dinero. Oh, actually, there is one thing I need to do before I go back to my room.